Hi students, welcome to my home office. This is normally not where I do my work for you guys, it's usually where I do the work for my classes at Southern, but now we're going to do all the work in here. So I just wanted to do an intro video to get us started since I haven't seen you guys and to explain how this is going to work for my class rather than sending you a really long thing to read and having anyone be confused. So I will probably periodically post videos, but a lot of what we're going to do for my class is going to be assignments that you are able to do on your own and to send me to get feedback like we normally do. So I don't know how many of you have been into Google Classroom yet. If you haven't logged in, you really need to as soon as possible, hopefully before Friday, so that way you can access all of your classes. So pretty much all of your teachers are going to be moving to Google Classrooms, so that way all of your stuff for all of your classes is in one place. Things that we're going to do for my class. So I've been trying to figure out how we can still do something that's similar to a warm-up so that you're still practicing your grammar, because that's really important. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to come up with once a week I will post a quizzes, because you guys seem like you use quizzes in your math classes, so you already know how they work. So I will have some questions and a quizzes, and you'll have all week to do it, and there'll be one quizzes per week, and that will count for our grammar stuff that we already do. Everybody should still be doing independent reading, so your goal should be to read for at least 15 minutes a day. And some of you I know are reading way more than that, and that's really great, but at least 15 minutes a day should be your goal. So far I have finished reading Stamped while we were home, which I really enjoyed this book, and if you can get access to it, I highly recommend it. It was really interesting. It's really well written. So it's written by Jason Reynolds, who wrote Long Way Down. So it's similar in his style, but not poetry this time. And then Ibram Kendi he wrote a more adult version of this book, and Jason Reynolds took it and made it more young adult in style. I like it because it was historical, but it wasn't boring to read like a textbook or something like that. Right now I am currently reading One of Us is Next, which was a sequel to One of Us is Lying. I didn't even know this existed until the other day when I ordered it on Amazon. And so far I'm only on page 45, but this has been an excellent book as well. And then after I finish this one, I plan to read Monday's Not Coming. I know this is a book that some of you have already read, so you'll have to tell me after I finish it what you thought about it. If you can't access a physical book because you left it at school, or normally you get them from the library and the libraries are all closed, please go to the school website. Under the educational and learning resources, there's all sorts of information about how to do audiobooks or ebooks or things like that through the library and through other apps. So it's going to be really important that you keep reading. The other thing that we're going to start working on is a new project. I know, but you'll be okay. So this new project is a children's book, and I have directions and everything that you could possibly need. I have examples and all that wonderful stuff. I've changed the directions from what I normally have my students do. Normally it's something that gets presented. Obviously we won't be able to be presenting it. Normally students have to create a quiz about their book because that's what their students fill out when they present their book. We're not going to do that portion of the project, but the rest of the project really is something that we can do from home, and we can use Google Slides to make our book, and everyone has access to Google Slides now because you have access to Google Classroom. And you'll be able to send it to me, and I'll be able to give you credit for what you're doing from home. With the children's book, I have all the directions that I'll send and I'll explain in another video, but I just want to be clear up front. It's not something that you're just creating a children's book on anything. It has to be something that you can do research on, because there's a whole process to our children's book, which includes finding sources, analyzing those sources, writing a summary, things of that nature. And if you are struggling with a topic, if you want to do the Holocaust, I can send you readings, because I have short readings that I brought home from school that I can scan and email to you, which I would do if we were in school anyway. That's one of the options. The project, I've broken it down. It should take us at least 4 weeks, so until about April 20th, when we may or may not go back to school at this point. I'm breaking down my projects differently. So normally I break it down by class period, and now I'm going to break it down by number of hours. And that way you can decide, do you want to work on small chunks? Do you want to do a whole section of the project at one time? And just like always, you're going to move at your own pace. So it's not that different than what we do in our classroom. I'm just not sitting next to you helping you. But you can email at any time if you need help. Other updates. I'm looking at my notes so I didn't forget. The weekly announcements. So next week, when we all are on Google Classroom, I'm not going to send the weekly announcements out like I normally do because all of your stuff will be in Google Classroom. So you won't need to click on separate links. It's also going to get real confusing if you're logged into your nhps.net email and your normal Google. I will, however, continue to send updates as they happen and weekly reminders to make sure that you're looking at your Google Classroom. So those will go to your regular email. And part of the reason I'm going to keep doing that is because a lot of parents are on the regular email send out, and parents have been asking questions and want to know what's going on. So to keep everybody informed, I'll keep sending emails to those other emails, but the work is all going to be in Google Classroom. I think that's everything. If you have not logged into your Google Classroom yet, you need to do so as soon as possible. It's your lunch code at nhps.net. Many of you have passwords from middle school. If you can't remember it or it does not work, please email me and I'll have it reset, or you can email the library directly at netbuslibrary@gmail.com, and you can ask Ms. Capoli to reset it that way. Other than that, I think that's all the information I have for right now. I really do miss seeing you guys, and I miss getting to work with you guys. So if you do have questions, please reach out. And I'm going to keep getting ready for next week's Google Classroom. Anybody who owes me anything from T2, make sure you get it to me by Friday. We've had plenty of time to work on that stuff since everything was due before February break. All right, kids, see you next time.